Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to talk about, well, just don't be this guy.
Why would you say, hey, I'm going to give you a shout out on my channel, but then you never gave me a shout out, never ever mentioned my name?
Story time. Today's story time, we're going to take you back to almost a year ago. I ran across a YouTuber, fell in love with his content, fell in love with his B-roll, his camera, his equipment, and how he done things. I mean, it's very good. It's very good stuff. So initially I reached out to him. I said, hey, anybody that knows me knows I love to network. They know I love to reach out and collab with other people's channels, because the bigger your circle gets in the YouTube arena, the faster you all grow. You kind of like feed off each other, and everybody helps everybody else. So yeah, I love to network. Anyway, I seen this guy. His name's Marc Anthony. Fell in love with his content, and I wanted to reach out to him and work with him. And I had some questions because I knew the quality of his videos were superb. And I was like, what camera is he using? And he really reminded me of Peter McKinnon, as he said. I later figured out why, but anyway, initially I reached out to him because I wanted to work with him. And in talking, I told him, I said, put up about 20 videos. I said, you got to have some content there. I said, and I give you a shout out, and but you need some content there before I can do that, because if somebody goes to your channel, you've only got 1 or 2 videos with trucking, then you're not going to give them time enough to fall in love with the channel. So I told him, I said, build you up some content, get you about 20 videos up, and I'll give you a shout out. So everything was cool, and after that, that's when things kind of went awry a little bit. I started watching these videos he was putting out, and I was like, wait a minute, this don't look right. Turns out he was copying other channels and doing what other channels were doing. And first thing I done is I called him. I said, look, dude, you cannot copy other people's channels. And he's like, well, I can't remember if it was Daryl Eves, or I think it was Daryl Eves that mentioned something about stealing other people's content and making, stealing other people's content and making it your own. And I said, exactly that, make it your own. I said, you can't copy other people's content and expect to do anything with it. I was like, you can imitate the heck out of Michael Jackson and mimic the song Bad, or Thriller, I think it's Thriller, to a T. I said, but just because you can mimic Michael Jackson and sing the song like Michael Jackson, it doesn't mean you're going to sell out arenas around the world like he could. I said, you steal their ideas, but you make it your own. You can't just I'm just going to put you on the video. This is the Kenworth guy. Much respect for that guy. But this is his intro right here.
Cool. Trust me today. Let's go check it out.
Okay, you see that intro right now? Now this is the first thing I ever noticed about Marc's channel that I didn't like. And as you're going to see, here, I'll go ahead and run it. And there, as you see right there, it's almost frame for frame. So I called him up. I said, dude, you can't do that. And no big deal there, no big deal there. But seeing that he was copying people, the next thing that stood out was, I knew he was a Peter McKinnon fan, and well, it seemed like he copied his intro as well on this right here.
What's up, everybody? Peter McKinnon here. Welcome to Toronto.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, Marc.
What's up, everybody? Just because I missed a few. What's up? What's up, everybody? Peter McKinnon here.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, Marc Anthony.
But I'll tell you what, I'm gonna go ahead and let that slide. I'm gonna let that slide simply because I make videos like that and said, what's up, guys? How you doing? I'm gonna let that slide. I think it just stuck out because I know he's a Peter McKinnon fan, and I know he watches Peter McKinnon, and I know he copied the Kenworth guy. So with that being said, I reached out to him. I told him, I said, listen, you can't do that. Be original, be authentic. If you want to make it big on this space, you can't do what this guy's doing. You got to do something different. Anyway, after that, it was all kind of cool. So I still sat back. I'm not going to give a guy a shout out that is mimicking other people's content. No, I've distanced myself from that. And that's what I did. And I just sat back and waited and watched for him to evolve in his channel. And it might have been a few weeks, it might have been a month, but he called me up and he's like, hey, did you give me a shout out yet? I said, no, Mark, I ain't gave you a shout out yet. Oh, okay, well, I know you just said you was gonna give me a shout out, and I just wondering when you're gonna give me a shout out. And I said, Mark, I'll let you know when I give you a shout out, man. I hadn't done it yet. And it might have been another week, a week later, he called me up and he said, hey man, I just had this video run. I think it's like up to 300 views. I was just wondering, did you give me a shout out? I just wondering, you know, this video it's just 300 views off the charts. Did you give me a shout out? I was like, no, Mark, I didn't give you a shout out, brother. I told you I'd let you know when I do. I'll send you the video. A couple more days goes by, maybe a week, and calls me back up. And this time is after me and Brian, being driven trucking, met up for the first time, which we're going to get to that in a minute. He talked about that in this video as well. And I thought it's kind of funny because everything he said in his video is inaccurate. But this time he called me up. He's like, hey, yeah, I was just, I seen the video you and Driven did. You know, well, I've done a live, and, you know, you kind of gave me a shout out. I mean, I know you going to give me a shout out? I just want to shout out. And I was like, dude, really? At this point, it's starting to turn me off. You know what I mean? Why are you going to bug me about a shout out? First off, shout outs are overrated. Maybe 50 to 100 people is going to flock to your channel and subscribe. Maybe. I mean, I'm nothing great. I'm not the Bill Gates of YouTube. So a shout out for me might get you 50, may get you 100 people, but to Mark, it seems like I'm going to transfer, at the time, 10,000 people. Don't work that way. The only way to build a channel, which, thinking on that, I'm going to make another video to run this one up. I'm going to teach all you guys that are interested in making a channel. I'm going to show you what you got to do and how I've done it and how Driven has applied the same math to his channel, and he's projected to have 10,000 subscribers in his first year. Get out of here, for real. 10,000 in his first year. Anyway, where is Driven, by the way? So let's get back. So Mark, it's almost to the point he's jealous. He's like, well, you know, and here's something I do not like. Do not ever try to manipulate me. Do not try to make me feel bad. Do not make me, well you give Driven a shout out. You've given him, you even met up with him, done a video, and try to make me feel bad for that. Dude, really? Seriously? We're grown men here. Come on now. Anyway, do not ever try to manipulate me, because I shut down on you. Done, son. But he called me up and it's like basically making a big deal because I gave Driven a shout out. And the next time I done a shout out or kind of collaboration was with Mr. McCarthy, and he had something to say to that about that as well, you know, but it wasn't to me. It was on another person's YouTube channel that he ran across, and he mentioned something about, yeah, it ain't like those other YouTubers. It ain't like the Brokeback Mountain. And I understand. Here's the thing. Me and my buddies that seen that, they was kind of pissed, just to be honest with you. And I told him, I said, listen, I said, Mark is, I said, I honestly feel Mark's a great guy. I said, he's a little dry on sense of humor. He's one of those literal personalities. I said, I think he's trying to be funny. I think he's trying to be funny, but I don't think he realizes he's not coming off as funny. But he might be doing it intentionally. I don't know. But I told them, I was like, I really feel like he thinks he's being funny. I said, and to him, he might be funny. I said, but he's not coming off that way. He's got a real dry, literal personality. I think he's a great guy. But the things about why I didn't give a shout out is just because of that. You know, you kind of copy, and then you just harassed and harassed and harassed. That just kind of turned me off, dude. And I even kind of told you, we even had a conversation about this about 3 months ago, maybe 4, and he brought it up again. I said, look, dude, I said, I didn't give you a shout out because you're acting like a bad girlfriend. He's like, well, no, you gave me your word. I said, no, I never gave you my word. I mentioned I will give you a shout out in conversation if you do this. And then you proceeded to copy other people's channels, and I can't be associated with that. You know, you got to have some original material. You got to be authentic. You know, I told Driven the same things. The thing is, Driven came to bat with a Louisville Slugger. He meant business. Not only did he meet me on the plate, he put out all those videos. He dug in and done the work, and next thing you know, he's teaching me. I don't know if you guys realize, but since me and Driven been collabing, my channels went. Yep, Driven's the cause of that. He brought me more information to be a better YouTuber, content creator, and all that stuff. And Mark, you just kind of didn't do that. You just wanted a handout, and that's why I didn't give you a shout out. Nothing personal. I still think you're a great guy, but you're not going to manipulate me, and you're not going to try to make me feel bad about not giving you a shout out when you don't want to do the work. Yeah, you got great content. Anybody can have great content. Yeah, you've got good video quality, but anybody can have the good video quality with a good camera. The trick there is, can you have good content on the other side of that lens? That's what's going to give you subscribers. That's what's going to make your channel grow. You've got to have the content. You know, I heard Casey Neistat once say, you know, it ain't about the camera, it's about the creator. It's about the content on the other side. He gave the story where and I told Mark this, he gave the story where he went to one of the blockbuster hits, the Transformer blockbuster hits, where they literally had millions of budget to make this film. And he said, you know, halfway through the movie, he was falling asleep. He said, and quite literally, he turned around out of that movie and went into another movie and watched a documentary about Mike Tyson with low budget, low quality filming. And he was on the edge of his seat the whole time, because he realized then it wasn't the graphics or the camera or any of that. It's the content. It's who's in the screen, the content creator. So that taught him something, which I heard that, and it taught me something. And I'm telling you guys that if you want to be a good content creator, you got to have content. You've got to be I'm gonna save that. I'm gonna make another video, and I've already talked to Driven a few months back, and talking about making a series on how to be a better YouTube content creator, and try to give you guys the tips, the nuggets, and the hints, and all the stuff that we do. As Brian came up with, he said once to me, he said, you know, there's only 13,000 things we got to remember. That's what it takes. You got to really remember 13,000 things at once. But anyway, let's get back to this, Mark. Seriously, dude, no hard feelings. And I think what sprouted this latest video is, I noticed a few months back that the more I watched other content creators, the less my content was producing.
I had asked Make Sense, you know, if he had seen a certain channel after he had asked me what equipment I was using. I'd asked him if he had seen a video that I had posted, and he says to me, he says, oh, I don't watch other people's YouTube channels. And I just thought, really? He says, yeah, I don't watch other YouTube channels. I just, you know, I just make my own videos. And I thought,
and I really thought I need to back up from watching all these other YouTubers, and because my creativity has been slacking, because I'm throwing too much effort on other people's channels. It's like this: you got players, you got spectators, and I spent too much time being a spectator. I lost my creativity to be a player. I decided to stop watching other content creators because my channel was taking a hit, and I needed my creative juices flowing to make more content for you guys. So I stopped watching people. And about a week and a half ago, I decided, you know, I'm understanding the YouTube algorithm. It does you no justice to be subscribed to a channel and you don't watch their content. It does you no justice. I decided to go through and unsubscribe to many channels. So if I'm not subscribed to you, don't mean I don't like you or any of that stuff like that. It's just I've got to get back to creating, and I can't do it by spectating. So I did delete Mark because I hadn't watched any of his videos. I don't watch him anymore. and I unsubscribed to him because, like I said, it don't do any justice. Anyway, that happened last week or the week before. I went from like 390 subscriptions of who I subscribed to down to 90. The majority of what I watch on YouTube is not even YouTube truckers. I mean, there's a handful that I keep up with, but the majority of what I watch is like, you know, We Are Creators, Be Inspired, stuff like that. That's more of my watch time. But I think that he's seen that because a few months back he called me up and he said, "Hey, I noticed you wouldn't subscribe to me, or you unsubscribe to me?" I said, "No, Mark, I'm still subscribed to you." He's like, "Oh wow, well you're not showing up on my subscribe." I said, "That's on your end, buddy." I said, "It's not on my end. I ain't unsubscribed from anybody." So he watches that stuff, which makes me realize 2 weeks ago when I did unsubscribe to him, he seen that and he must have thought I took it personal, that I don't like him or something. I ain't got no problem with you, Mark. The only reason I'm making this video here is because you make me out to be less than a man and call me a liar. And well, I don't like that because there's rhyme and reason to my madness. About everything I do is calculated. There's reasoning behind it. I never gave you a shout out for reasons, and I think I just covered that. But then you make a video about it. And also another thing, you call me a liar. Well, let's just show the people my side of the story here about me just ignoring you and not wanting to say your name.
There was a video, you guys can actually check it out. There was a video with him and Driven Trucking sometime around the month of, I'm going to say like January or February. It was their first live chat video. And so, you know, me thinking everything was cool, as they're chatting it up in the live chat and they're talking about cameras, I decided to, you know, give a little bit of comment like you guys do. And so I commented, and I noticed that Makes Sense did not, his name is Sammy, but I noticed that Makes Sense, he would not say anything. And so he would read everyone else's comments. So I'm thinking, why is he doing that? And then, so I put another comment in there, and I'm thinking, you know, he'll read that one, and he just skipped over it and read someone else's comment. So I'm scratching my head, and I'm like wondering, what's he doing? You know, I'm like writing to him. I'm asking the guys about the camera that Driven Trucking is using, and he would not respond, nothing. And then suddenly, Driven Trucking looks at the video, and I'm telling you guys, watch the video. You can go back to this. You're gonna see it's the weirdest thing. Driven Trucking says to him, "Hey, who's that guy, Mark Anthony Storm?" And I'm telling you, it was weird because Sammy literally says, he says, "Oh, that guy, that's Mark," and he says, "We just talk politics." And I'm scratching my head thinking, huh?
Mark Anthony Storm. Mark Anthony
He
Storm.
wouldn't say my name for the life of him.
Mark Anthony Storm.
Kept on overlooking my comment.
What's going on, brother? Long time. We need to catch up. We ain't talked since we talked politics. You didn't rub me the wrong way, and I hope I didn't do the same with you as well. But yeah, I heard me a professional, man. This is my boy right here. Nah, he's
far from professional, guys. Far from it. It was a joke.
He wouldn't say my name for the life of him.
Mark Anthony Storm. I prefer to do my own edits, create my own videos, and what makes it interesting. You are absolutely right there. Yeah, it was just kind of like I clickbaited y'all. I ain't gonna lie, I clickbaited you. I didn't hire him.
Skipped over it.
And what camera is that? That is the 80D.
Canon 80D.
You know what it is, Mark. You got the same one, brother.
He wouldn't say my name for the life of him.
Mark Anthony Storm.
He wouldn't say my name for
Mark Anthony Storm.
Skipped over
You're
it.
getting my messages, Sammy. I don't think I have. Where are you sending them? But anyways, guys, again, Mark No Hard Feelings. If you want to build your YouTube channel and get a mass amount of subscribers, stay subscribed, hit my bell. And I'm going to touch on that in a future video on how to build a YouTube channel. Anyways, guys, you got to think how to rise. Winners never quit, and quitters, they never win. See you, bye.
The only thing that hurts us is when we're negative. This isn't to create any drama. This is not about drama. This is not about creating drama. This isn't to create any drama. What hurts us is when we do things, you know, that are just like lies or make up stories. Sometimes people they show their true colors.